Cherry. Cherry is about following his service in the army as a medic. A young veteran named Cherry, played by Tom Holland, struggles to gain the upper hand over his struggles with PTSD. As he becomes increasingly dependent on painkillers to quell his symptoms, Cherry soon plunges into unsurmountable debt, forcing him to turn into bank robbery to finance his addiction and thus quiet his inner demons. So I heard people talking about Cherry, and this is like the second Tom Holland movie. The first one was Chaos Walking. Um, and I was thinking to myself, oh, it's directed by the Russo brothers. Ooh, it has Tom Holland in it, so I have to see it. And but then I heard not so good things about it. But I was like, really? I was like, really? So I decided to check it out myself. And here's the thing about this movie. It's very mixed. I feel like my emotions, my thoughts, not my emotions, my thoughts are all mixed. On one side, this movie is beautiful. I love um, I love like the whole chapters. I love how the movie is breaking down into different parts, like the prologue, part one, two, three, whatever, epilogue. I like that. I love that about this movie. I like that about the movie. It's very, trying to switch it up, trying to change it a bit. Okay, um, and I like how like it looks amazing. Like I don't know the cinematography, but like this movie looks like the transition from like red to like and then the red like fades into like color. It's very hard. It's a little bit difficult for me to explain, but when you see the actual movie, you know it. You know what I'm talking about. So like I said, one side it's like it's amazing to look at, but on the other side, I feel like the narrative really struggles a bit, especially the tone. Like the beginning of the when this movie opens up, and I'm not gonna give any spoilers. Don't worry, no spoilers. When this movie opens up, um, the beginning of this movie, it feels like a romance movie. It feels very romantic. Having seeing this guy fall in love with this girl, and I was like, okay, but then the tone shifts to like, and it feels like I'm watching an entirely different movie. I mean, it might be just me, but I feel like it just went from romantic to like army, like army and war. Like the genre, I guess, like the genre. I don't know if I would say the tone, but like the genre, which it like definitely changed so abruptly, and it felt like really weird. Like first, it was like I felt like watching a romance movie, and then it shifts to when he enlists in the army, and then it quickly goes from romance to war and army and all this, um, and then he gets PTSD, and he starts taking these painkillers to like he to like to reduce his anxiety and his PTSD symptoms. But then he becomes like accept. But then it kind of it kind of feels like, and then like I don't know. It just felt like I was watching three movies It felt like I was watching three movies at the same time. I don't know how the best way to describe it. It felt like the movie opened up, and it felt like a romance movie. And then it switched to like, and then it switched to like a war movie when he goes into the army. When Tom goes into the army, and then it shifts again for the third time to like a bank heist. It just feels like it feels like it's not. It doesn't know. It feels like the movie doesn't know genre, or what genre, what tone it wants to be, and it just goes all over the place. Like I said, it went from romance to war to a bank heist at the near like the third act of the movie, like the end portion of it. It's very, you know, and when and I don't really, I'm not, I'm unsure. I don't know if it's okay. I don't know if I'm okay with Tom Holland, or not Tom, but Cherry, who's played by Tom, breaking away from the story to talk to us, the audience, about what's going on. Like sometimes Cherry, he breaks away from the narrative to talk to us, the audience. Like he kind of breaks the fourth wall, talking to us, the audience, like as he narrates his story, and as he narrates the movie. I don't know if that was a good idea. So yeah, I mean, that's I'm not saying this movie is terrible. It's not. It's not. But I thought Tom Holland, his acting in this movie was fucking amazing. Like when he's like crying his eyes out, when he's like sweating, like I was like I felt it. I felt it. So Tom was amazing in this movie. I loved him. And Ciara or Bravo, I don't know if I pronounced her name right, but I do remember I was watching this movie and I was like, hey, I know her. She's from and what was it, that Nickelodeon? Was it Nickelodeon or was it like something else? It wasn't Disney Channel. I think it was Nickelodeon. But anyway, she was in that TV show, Big Time Rush, and I was like, hey, I love seeing all these I don't know. I get a kick of seeing these recognizable faces. I loved it. I was like, hey, I love seeing familiar faces is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, those are the only things I have. Those are the main things that I have an issue about. The whole tonal shifts from like romance to war to bank heist, to robbing a bank heist, and all that. It just feels out of place, and it's such a terrible thing to say because who directed this movie? The Russo brothers did. The Russo brothers who directed Captain America: Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame. I was expecting like amazement, but I came out with mixed emotions. But anyway, that's all I have to say for Cherry. Let me know what you guys thought about Cherry. It is available. I was having a hard time. This movie wasn't in theaters. Like, I don't know. Well, it wasn't in the theaters that I was. It wasn't available at any of the of any of my local theaters. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Only Apple TV. So I had to wait until Apple TV had Cherries, and then I watched it, which was last night. So anyway, let me know if you've seen Cherry. Let me know what you thought about this movie. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. Thank you so much for taking the time and being patient and watching my video, me talking endlessly. But seriously, thank you. And I will see you in my next video.